36 more countries may be added to Trump's travel ban. The Trump administration is cracking down, once again expanding travel bans, boosting deportations, and reshaping immigration policy. Here's what you need to know about the latest updates and how they could affect thousands worldwide. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. The administration gave the nation 60 days to fix concerns, according to a State Department cable. The president already imposed a full or partial ban on citizens of 19 countries. The Trump administration is considering expanding President Trump's new travel ban to as many as 36 additional countries, most of which are in Africa, according to a June 14th cable reviewed by the New York Times. This month, Mr. Trump imposed a full ban on entry to the United States on citizens of 12 countries and a partial ban on 7 more, reviving a form of much disputed policy from his first term. The cable says that in addition to the 19 countries, the State Department had identified 36 more that must improve on certain benchmarks within 60 days. It set a deadline of 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday for the affected governments to provide remediation plans. The countries in question must take immediate action to mitigate ongoing vetting and screening concerns, develop corrective action plans to remediate deficiencies, and evaluate progress, the cable said. The State Department said in a statement on Monday that it was committed to protecting our nation and its citizens by upholding the highest standards of national security and public safety through our visa process. It has declined to comment more specifically on internal deliberations, which was reported earlier by the Washington Post, cited a range of concerns that it said had put the countries on the list, but it cautioned that not every country raised the same issues. It did not say what the concerns were in each case. The categories of concern included a lack of a competent central government that could produce reliable identity documents and criminal records, dubious passport security, significant rates of visa overstays, a lack of cooperation in taking back citizens being deported from the United States, and selling citizenship to people who do not live in their countries. It also said a country could be subjected to a travel ban if its citizens were involved in terrorism or anti-Semitic and anti-American activity in the United States. But the cable said that a country could help mitigate concerns if its government agreed to accept people from other countries whom the United States was trying to deport but could not repatriate, or agreed to serve as a safe third country that took in migrants who applied for asylum in the United States. The countries on a new list included Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Bhutan, Burkina Faso, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cape Verde, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Dominica, Ethiopia, Egypt, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Kyrgyzstan, Liberia, Malawi, Mauritania, Niger, Nigeria, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Tonga, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. The Times reported in March that the Trump administration was developing a travel ban that would have 3 tiers: a red list of countries whose nationals were completely banned, an orange group of countries whose access would be curtailed but not completely barred, and a yellow category in which countries would be given 60 days to change some perceived deficiencies, or they would be added to one of the 2 other lists. The Times also reported that month on a draft list of 43 countries that were provisionally slated for one of those 3 lists. But on June 4th, Mr. Trump issued a proclamation that contained only full and partial bans, essentially the red and orange list, though the public document did not call them that. Some countries had shifted from the draft. The countries whose citizens were fully banned from entering the United States were Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Mr. Trump also named 7 others whose citizens cannot come to the United States permanently or get tourist or student visas, but can travel for business. They included Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Mr. Trump's policy of categorically barring entry to citizens of targeted countries traces back to his campaign call in December 2015 for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. Soon after taking office in 2017, Mr. Trump issued what became the first of a series of bans. They initially focused on a set of Muslim-majority countries, but later also encompassed other low-income and non-white countries, including in Africa. Courts blocked enforcement of the first two versions, but the Supreme Court eventually permitted a rewritten ban to take effect. One of the first acts taken by Joseph R. Biden Jr. when he became president in 2021 was to rescind Mr. Trump's travel bans and return to a system of individualized vetting for people from those countries. He called the bans a stain on our national conscience that undermine national security by jeopardizing our global network of alliances and partnerships. When Mr. Trump returned to office in January, one of his first acts was an order directing the government to develop a new travel ban. He wrote that he was protecting Americans from aliens who intend to commit terrorist attacks, threaten our national security, espouse hateful ideology, or otherwise exploit the immigration laws for malevolent purposes. Green card holders. Denied reentry to the U.S. Denied PNG. Can green card holders really be denied reentry to the U.S.? No, this claim is absolutely false. There's a growing wave of misinformation suggesting that green card holders, also known as lawful permanent residents, are being denied reentry into the United States. Let's be clear. Green card holders are fully eligible to return to the U.S. provided they meet the standard reentry requirements. Daily reentry of green card holders. Every single day, thousands of green card holders are re-entering the United States without issue. Airports and land borders across the country continue to process returning LPRs as long as they present valid documentation. So, if you're a green card holder with a valid passport and your permanent resident card in hand, you are legally allowed to come back to the U.S. What can lead to reentry problems? Problems usually arise not because someone holds a green card, but because of violations of residency rules. For example, if you've been outside the U.S. for more than 1 year without a reentry permit, you may be considered to have abandoned your permanent resident status. If you've committed certain crimes or violated immigration laws, you may face additional scrutiny or inadmissibility. These are exceptions, not the rule. The vast majority of green card holders face no restrictions when returning after travel. Don't fall for the rumors. Social media and even word of mouth can spread a lot of misleading claims. The truth is simple. Green card holders are returning home to the U.S. every day. If you have your documents in order and haven't stayed outside too long, you have every right to come back. USCIS initiates removal proceedings against 26,000 aliens since February. Secretary of Homeland Security. President Trump's executive order. Deferred action for childhood arrival cases. USCIS initiates removal proceedings against 26,000 aliens since February. Since U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services published new guidance on issuing notices to appear on February 28th, it has initiated removal proceedings against more than 26,700 aliens with no legal basis to remain in the country. The guidance is in response to President Trump's executive order protecting the American people against invasion. The guidance addresses national security, public safety, and the overall integrity of the United States immigration system by strengthening enforcement of the Immigration and Nationality Act. This update has helped USCIS enforce existing immigration laws by once again issuing NTAs to removable aliens in the United States, said USCIS spokesman Matthew Tragesser. Under the leadership of President Trump and Secretary Noem, we have returned to common sense NTA policies, and since February 2025, have issued tens of thousands of NTAs to restore integrity and ensure the security of our nation's immigration system. The revised NTA policy is part of an ongoing series of efforts to restore integrity to the legal immigration system. USCIS is actively assisting U.S. immigration and customs enforcement by providing volunteers to support its operations and carry out its mission of protecting the public and ensuring integrity within the immigration system. USCIS returned to robust screening and vetting of immigration petitions and applications while prioritizing deterrence efforts. These screening and vetting efforts have led to approximately 1,840 NTAs a week and a 2,811% increase in fraud-related NTAs per month from the Biden-Harris administration era. This includes the issuance of approximately 500 asylum-related NTAs per week and 100 NTAs in temporary protected status cases per week. These efforts have reduced exploitation of the immigration system through humanitarian and TPS programs. Under the new guidance, USCIS is generally defaulting toward issuing NTAs after the issuance of an unfavorable decision on a benefit request where the alien is removable from the United States. In limited situations, USCIS exercised prosecutorial discretion. The new guidance did not change procedures for cases in which NTA issuance was required by statute or regulation, nor did it change NTA procedures for TPS or deferred action for childhood arrival cases. If the Secretary of Homeland Security terminated a nation's TPS designation, former TPS beneficiaries of that nation who have no other authorization to remain in the United States may be subject to NTA issuance. These aliens should depart the United States and are encouraged to use the U.S. Customs and Border Protection CBP Home app to report their departure. As enforcement ramps up and misinformation spreads, staying informed is key. Know your rights, follow the facts, and don't fall for the rumors, especially if you're a green card holder. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Green card re-entry denials, travel ban expansion, and USCIS initiates removal proceedings. The Trump administration is expanding its travel ban policy, potentially targeting up to 36 additional countries, primarily in Africa, on top of 19 nations already facing full or partial bans. A leaked State Department cable requires these countries to address U.S. security concerns within 60 days or risk being added to the ban list. Issues include unreliable documentation, high visa overstay rates, passport fraud, and over-deportation cooperation. Simultaneously, USCIS has initiated removal proceedings against over 26,700 undocumented individuals since February, following revised notice to appear guidance linked to Trump executive order on immigration enforcement. The updated policy has driven a 811% increase in fraud-related NTA and escalated asylum and TPS-related enforcement. Meanwhile, misinformation continues to circulate falsely, suggesting green card holders are being denied re-entry. In truth, lawful permanent residents with valid documents are re-entering the U.S. daily unless they have violated immigration laws or prolonged their stay abroad without a proper permit.